Welcome to the Life's Best Medicine podcast, where we are finding hope and healing one episode at a time. No appointment needed, no rubber gloves, and no copay. Just a healthy dose of life lessons to help equip you for this wild journey we call life. Hey everyone, this is a friendly reminder that we are here for entertainment purposes only. We may not even be that entertaining at times, but this is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor, check with your healthcare professionals before making any lifestyle changes or medicine changes. What we're talking about is our clinical experience and what we've seen. And so if you really want our advice, you can consult us. You can actually consult me as a doctor, or you can consult my guest and get all your questions answered. But we can't give free medical advice because we can't pay our bills with that, but we can help to educate you a bit and allow you to think a little bit. And always reach out to your medical professional before making any lifestyle changes. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Can you believe it's July already? Gosh, 4th of July is going to pass us by if it hasn't already by the time this is released. I just really appreciate my sponsors, Keto Mojo, keto-mojo.com. They are my choice for ketones and glucose monitoring. It's a great double check for continuous glucose monitors, which I highly recommend, but also following those ketones. So when we have those little barbecues, we could see if we're staying on track or whether we were as good as we thought we were. So Keto Mojo, and also I would highly recommend going to their website. They have tons of recipe, fitness tips, so much that can help you stay on your journey. Just great information, great lectures. It's all there. They put it all in one spot. So it's a great resource for my patients, and I highly recommend it. Also, Health Code, Get Help, GETHLTH.com. They're doing great work, and they also just came out with a berberine that I really like that has turmeric with it, some anti-inflammatories, helps with sugar control, and helps with the gut microbiome. There's so many benefits that we've been talking about on this podcast with a lot of the experts. So go grab some, and remember, Met Health is our discount code, METHEALTH, and that will help you stay on track and get ready for the holidays and enjoy the rest of your summer. But thanks for tuning in, and I just want to greatly thank my sponsors for keeping this podcast going and for helping bring us some great content. Hello, and welcome back to the Life's Best Medicine podcast. I just wanted to do a quick podcast and just kind of talk about some things that I've been feeling lately and some of the concerns I've had and some of my observations. And I think a lot of people out there feel the same. I think maybe you do too. In recent weeks, we had the ex-president come within millimeters of dying, and it's just kind of a crazy thing when you think, gosh, just one wrong turn or one tilt of the head and how all of history can change, just one person with evil or hatred or political ideology, whatever it might be, willing to sacrifice their life and take another life. And it's hard for me as a doctor to understand these things because my entire life has been dedicated to healing and helping other people and thinking how I can make the world a better place. That's why I started this podcast, because it was the middle of COVID and I saw everyone hopeless. And right now I have friends on both sides of the political arena, and they're both sides are super hopeless. They think that the world's coming apart, and one of the worst things is the lack of hope. And I think that's what drives people to either be hateful or not want to lift up other people around them. And so it's something I had to look at it myself too, and wonder why there's so many people that I personally don't like. Maybe people in public health or people who locked us down, and this comes off the heels of 3 or 4 years of turning people against each other and really being divided. For the first time in my life, I could lose my medical license for speaking my mind or talking about my clinical experience and what I was seeing. And a lot of doctors kind of felt the same way. So doctors went from being the most respected to the least respected. And now I think politicians are giving us some relief on that, because we're seeing terrible things on both sides of the aisle. And I think if we could just get back to our humanity and get back to being able to have a discussion with people who might have different views than our own. I know that most people of different religions I get along with great, different political ideology, I may not, and why is that? And why is it that I turn on Twitter or X now and Instagram and I see people arguing with each other over what they eat, if they should eat meat or not eat meat, or be vegan or not be vegan. And if someone has a piece of broccoli, everyone criticizes them. It's just, we've got to such a point where we divide each other. We can all find the flaws in each other, but we forget the flaws in ourselves. And I think that's something I've been kind of looking at, is how I want to say bad things about certain people, and I have to hold my tongue. And other people I give extensive grace to. But I think we're getting to a point where we have to really look into our souls and see what we believe, and be kind to other people, and give them the benefit of the doubt, and reach out to each other. I think the other thing I've really noticed lately is the importance of community. I do community meetings with my patients every 2 weeks, and it's amazing how people who've been through hard things can really inspire other people. So I would say, if you're going through a hard time right now, don't focus it into negativity and trying to bring other people down, and harming them or hurting their credibility. And I think it's hard if we've wronged other people or we haven't been great. I think it's important that we turn the other page. I'm giving a talk coming up on the mindset of lifestyle change and weight loss, and so many of us get stuck on that page where we failed, where we've blown it, where we haven't been a good person, and we just stick to that chapter. And when you're reading a book, you want to get past that bad chapter and on to better things, and you know see the happy ending, the happiness, or the good that's going to come out of this bad situation. So also in that, I would say, don't be afraid of sharing your scars with other people, your struggles, what you've been through, because so many times that can help other people, and it really helps us when we talk about our shortcomings and mistakes we've made or problems we've had, and how we've overcome them. So I think turning the other page and getting to the next chapter and making the next chapter better and better. So many people think their story's over, the book's over, but it's not. There's so much more. I have people in their 80s and 90s who are turning their life around, or finally having forgiveness for someone that they had resentment towards all these years. And all that is poison for ourselves and for other people. So I think, in light of this rhetoric and these problems, I think we have to really reassess who we are and what kind of impact we want to have. And when our day's up, what kind of stories do we want to tell? I just spent some time last night talking with friends about that. Family members who died and no one really cared. They didn't really leave a mark. They didn't really reach out to other people in need, and you think, wow. And then you hear about other people who sacrificed everything. They went out of their way to help other people, or some of the people I work with on my medical mission trips. It's amazing to see how much people sacrifice for good. And that's why for a lot of us, it's hard to see the evil in the world or the bad, and it's hard for us to reconcile those things. And so I think this is a good time for reflection. I just wanted to do a quick podcast just to maybe help us get back on track, help us give that person the benefit of the doubt, help us to try to understand someone else rather than just speaking over them, or having the louder voice. I think we've seen so much of that in recent times, where everyone picks out all the flaws in everyone else, but they don't look at themselves. And I don't look at myself and, some of my shortcomings. So I think it's really important for us as a society, as a people, to really reach out and be kind to people who don't believe what we believe, or believe something different than we do, or don't believe anything. I'm trying to understand where they're coming from, their upbringing, what they've learned, life lessons, and all those kind of things. And that's why I love this podcast, being able to really dig into people's stories, to hear their motivation, to hear the miracles that have happened in their lives, their struggles. And really, I think a lot of us just love that underdog story, the David versus Goliath, the Rocky stories. And, when you see someone who's really struggling, overcome lifelong obstacles, it's pretty amazing. And as a physician, I'm so blessed to be able to see that, to see people get better, or to have hope in their eyes again, or to have a new sense of purpose. So I'd say, if you have a dream, look into it. Don't just sit there and wait for it to happen. Start researching, talking to people, getting out there, and uh, just striving for something better. Don't live a life of misery and then try to bring other people into your pit. Try to dig yourself out of the pit, or help other people out of the pit if you're already out. So I think reaching back, helping people, mentoring, if that's your thing, getting out involved in a church or community group or Habitat for Humanity, something where you're giving of yourself. It's not about all the how many cars you have or how big your house is. Ultimately, I think so many people, uh, when they're dying, tell me that. I've had patients tell me, it's like, I should have really spent time helping my kids. I wish I had a better relationship. I wish I didn't work so much. So allow those words to sink in. I think the words of people on their deathbed are very powerful, or someone whose life is coming to an end. So I think, and like I said, just being 1 millimeter, one head turn, one wrong turn, one extra drink or whatever, and our life ends or our story changes dramatically. So I think we just have to live wisely, try to bring positivity in the world, and be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Thanks for listening, and I hope this clicks in a couple people's heads. It does for me, and hopefully we can, grow together and unite as a country. We could have a sense of pride in our ancestors, not rip down all the statues. We have to learn from history, learn from those mistakes, and move forward, and make this world a better place. So thanks for listening, and thank you for your continued support. Have a great week and a great day today. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode. We greatly appreciate your support. We would greatly appreciate a positive thumbs up on all of the platforms like iTunes and Spotify, or wherever you're listening. And we just thank you for our Patreon supporters. We greatly appreciate your help in getting this message out. We think there's a lot of important information, and hopefully this helps you. Have a great day, and thank you for listening, and thank you for your support.